Incredible. Welcome to Bibliofools. This is the show where we read books so you don't have to. We know you would if you had the time, but you simply don't, so we've got you covered. I am Evan Cannell, joined as always by Diddlywhack Mac Daddy McKylan Rowe.
I'm Diddlywhack Mac Daddy. Diddlywhack was, that's my surname from back when I was... Well, my family is actually a family of diddlywhackers. Diddlywhacking is not what you think. It's when you punch somebody directly in the penis.
Oh my God. That's
okay.
And it goes back centuries, back to Wales. It's a Welsh diddlywhacking family.
Wow, incredible. I am learning more about your genealogy than I want to.
I agree. That's gross.
Also joined by Kyle Dunshee, who some say is a bear descended from the great and ancient bears of the mountains that lived there before the giants came.
It's true. It's a theory. Some people believe it. Most people don't believe it because the facial hair got lost a few lines back and I can't grow it. So, but
very hairless bear man.
It's unfortunate, but it's true.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, today's show is a very special show. Not only are we covering an absolutely iconic book, but we're doing so at the request of our first ever guest on the show because we are joined today by the man that our favorite man on earth, Matt Dinniman, author of Dungeon Crawler Carl, called the literary voice of a generation, Aaron N. Hall. Welcome to the show.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Well, Aaron, you are an author of several books. You're several books deep as an author at this point. So tell the audience a little bit about yourself, your background. Who are you?
Yeah, so, I'm Aaron N. Hall. Nice to meet you guys. I learned that I loved storytelling when I was like 9 years old. I was really young. And through my teen years, I started writing short stories, started writing my first novel when I was 15. So that means I've been in the biz of writing novels for almost 20 years, which is nuts. But I did release a book a little over a year ago, a fantasy comedy called The Legend of that has been making the rounds on Bookstagram and Book Talk. It is a loving parody of all things fantasy about this boy named Sir Dashing Jr., who only got knighted because the kingdom couldn't knight his hot, famous dad twice. So
Nice.
he goes on his own adventure to prove he's worthy of being a knight, and many misadventures ensue. It's really fun. The sequel's coming out in April. And that's kind of what I'm known for in the literary world at this point.
Incredible. Okay, so that one's popping off. You also have the Wevleyan Chronicles. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Amazing. First try.
Yeah.
As well as, I'm noticing a pattern. You've got some anthologies of stories, poems, and then something else kooky, recipes or something. That includes, I'm sorry, here's a plasma rifle, love letters to a house on fire, and where should I put this woodpecker?
You got it.
The titles are just phenomenal.
Thanks.
The titles
are
they're
just fun. Yeah, it's kind of hard to market a collection of stories, poems, and weird third things, but those are just kind of in between projects. Like when I would finish a novel, I would want to do something a little smaller, and those are just fun. So I have a few of those out. Might do some more in the future, but right now, people are chomping at the bit for more Legend of so that's kind of been my focus.
I love that. We're definitely going to do Legend of on the podcast now because hearing that story, I'm just I'll tell you right now, Aaron, you're going to notice this throughout the episode. I have a bad habit of just inserting myself into the book. And Legend of I'm like, that's perfect. I have a famous mom and I'm on an adventure to prove myself. So I'm like, there it is.
You love Dungeon Crawler Carl, and Legend of frequently gets recommended to Dungeon Crawler Carl lovers. So you're in good company.
Yeah, dude, we're right.
Fine, we'll do it immediately.
We're doing it immediately next week.
It's a good time. The audiobook's free on YouTube.
Oh, really?
It's free. Just go listen to it.
Oh my gosh, you heard it here first, listeners.
My language, man.
He's not even trying to get the money. He's giving it to us for free. Gee whiz.
Oh no, let's be honest. I get paid.
Pay it.
My YouTube's monetized, so I get paid on the views, and you get it for free. We both win.
Nice.
I think that is how the world should be. I have a question. So when you got started, what is your inspiration for writing stories, and how do you break stories?
Ooh, shoot. One of the big inspirations at a young age that I had was The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Oh my
on Nintendo
gosh.
64. Yeah, because for me, that wasn't just a game that I played. That was an adventure that I went on. I was inserting myself into Link's place, and I was fighting Ganondorf and all that. So for me, it was I want to make stuff like this. I want to make things just like this. And as a 9, 10-year-old, you're not going to get into game design right away. But I did find that like telling stories was an accessible way to kind of like make my own fantasy world that felt like Zelda. So yeah, that was kind of like the early inspiration. What was the second part of that question? I forgot.
How do you break your story? So I know it's like sometimes you come up with the concept first, but how do you like
Oh, totally.
get into the thick of it?
Oh yeah, so I'm an outliner. So, you'll have a concept, kind of like ideas marinating in your head, but I like to just make a bulleted document, with like a bullet point per chapter and just kind of like build out the story the best I can. Like, and also building an understanding of what characters are going to be involved, like how they need to grow by the end of the book, how they need to change by the end of the book, and helping build this story to kind of help get these characters to grow in the ways that are most interesting and will engage your audience. So that's how I go about it. I'm an outliner, but when I'm in the thick of it too, like when I'm drafting, I'll give myself the freedom to veer off the outline if I feel something else will work better for the story. So that's kind of how I approach it.
Amazing. I have a question on Legend of Zelda. Do you think that's the greatest video game of all time?
Dude, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like a hard conversation to have of the best video game of all time because that's so subjective. Like everybody's got a different opinion, but I feel like if we wanted to reframe that question into what is the most important video game of all time, like what is the most influential, genre defining game of all time, I think Ocarina of Time has a really good case because in the 90s, like video game developers were still trying to figure out how to like make these franchises segue into a 3D environment. Like if you go back and read a lot of those reviews for Ocarina of Time, some of these critics are like, it's amazing how well Link moves around his 3D space. Like they were still figuring it out. And the fact that they had like the Z targeting mechanic that is still being used in every action game ever, like they figured that out in 1998, almost 30 years ago. Dog. And like just going back and playing it now, it holds up. It's still a fun game. Like there's some parts of it that feel antiquated, but it still rips. It's so good.
Last time I played that game, and probably the last time I'll ever play that game, this is a gross story. I shouldn't tell this story.
Well, it's too late.
You're already in too deep. You got to do it.
So like I beat that game, Ocarina of Time, I beat that game 2 hours before my son was born. So that means my wife was in labor while I was fighting Ganondorf. And then once I beat Ganondorf, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to be a dad. I can do this.
I have a question. Did you leave? I didn't know this. Sorry, Aaron. Did you leave the...
No,
was she
I
in
didn't
the delivery
leave
room
the
and you're like,
room.
I'm going to pop out for a little while. Let me know when something moves.
No,
I got a battle of my own to fight. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm pushing too, babe.
No, I was in there. I was sitting next to her. I'm not a monster. Like, I knew it was going to take some time.
She get to watch you play a video game while she's pushing out your son?
She was happy because it meant I would shut the hell up and stop worrying her if I dove into the video game. So it was a win-win.
Okay, good.
But yeah,
That's
that
funny.
game is sacred in my opinion.
Oh, dude, I recently got the Final Battle Lego set.
Oh,
which just got released.
Yeah.
Like I've been kind of broke as a joke for the last year and a half, but when that set dropped, I was like, oof, this is a need, I fear. Like I'm gonna find the money somewhere, gonna figure it out.
It's gonna happen.
That's right.
Love it.
Absolutely incredible. If you could eat lunch with anyone from history, who is it?
Anyone from history?
Adolf Hitler.
If you got
Dude,
I
what?
knew
Get out
I
of
gotta
here,
know
man.
what that guy's fucking deal was.
he probably just eats like a mayonnaise sandwich, just mayonnaise.
It would be like, it's like when
With a
you're
tall
watching a
glass
bad
of
movie.
milk.
Yeah, and a tall glass of milk, totally.
And he's
Weird
just
stuff.
taking sniffers of
And just
heroin, meth
lots
at
and
the
lots of
whole,
meth for lunch at
I'm
the
just
time.
like, this is crazy.
Just a meth mayo sandwich with a big old glass of milk. Gross.
Yeah, you're right. You guys are wild. I gotta think this one through. Like my one of my first thoughts was like Anthony Bourdain. He's not with us anymore, but I bet he would make a mean lunch. Like we'll just I bet he could make something really sick, and he'd be great with conversation. So I think he'd be fun to hang with.
Nice.
You know what? I like the way that you approach that question because it's not just who do I want to talk to. You're like, I'm also going to get some good food. We're going to do both.
Yeah.
Well, you said lunch.
Wonderful.
It's like food's on the line. So, like,
you got to think about both.
Yeah.
Well,
that's fair. I changed my answer to Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, you better change your answer from Hitler to Stanley Tucci. He's going to make you some pasta and not destroy
what a
it.
jump.
Change your answer to
Stanley Tucci.
Anyone else really
Literally
is an
anyone.
acceptable answer. Yeah.
He's like, okay, fine. Genghis Khan. No, that's not how it works.
He's eating
let-
like boiled goose. I don't know.
bring it back to books. Like I feel like Tolkien would be like an interesting conversation. I've heard like interpersonally he wasn't that pleasant of a guy. Like he was
Really?
like kind of stuffy. Yeah,
Hmm.
but I don't know. Just to have the chance to kind of like pick his brain and just because like
Yeah.
as an artist, as a writer, I kind of like want to figure him out a little bit. And, what makes him tick. So I
Yep.
think that would be an interesting conversation.
Well, an incredible segue to what we're talking about today and the book that we're diving into. So we asked Aaron N. Hall to suggest a book that inspired him as an author, and he gifted us with the opportunity of ushering in the Biblia Fools debut of the greatest fantasy author of all time, because he picked, well, first,
To be real.
picked the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, and we said, we have limited time, let's do The Hobbit. And he agreed, and so we're doing The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, and full disclosure, I finished The Hobbit half an hour ago. So it's like,
Fresh.
if I'm being truthful, it hasn't been influential on me as a writer. Lord of the Rings has been very influential, but this is still Tolkien's work. He is the godfather, so it's important to talk about.
For sure.
Absolutely. So, book in a nutshell, Bilbo Baggins is a hobbit who eats 6 meals a day and has never done anything unexpected. Then, a wizard and 13 dwarves show up, eat all his food, and recruit him to burgle a mountain from a dragon. He has no weapons, no experience, and no idea what he's doing, but he'll find all these things on his adventure along with a small trinket that may or may not be the One Ring to rule them all.
Wham, wham, wham.
Nailed it.
Classic.
Nailed it.
Amazing.
Nailed it.
I feel like we all want to be a Thorin or an Aragorn, even maybe a little bit of a Samwise, but Bilbo's a much more relatable hero
Yeah.
than any hero I've really read, because he never becomes really good at a bunch of stuff. He kind of stays the same level, but he's just a good guy. That's what gets him through everything. He's smart-ish.
Sure. I mean, the ring helps him out a lot. Like
Yeah.
it
A
definitely
lot.
gets him out of a lot of scrapes.
But
Yeah,
what I love about Bilbo though, it's just that first step out of Bag End, and then it's like boom.
Yeah.
He took the first step. The rest was, you could call it Iluvatar, you could call it whatever you want, you can call it fate. But he just got swept away. But he was willing to go. Bilbo's willingness is what makes him a hero, in my opinion, to do these things.
Well, I feel like he did have this secret hankering for adventure deep down. Like reading some of those early chapters and kind of how Tolkien describes it, where it's, once the dwarves kind of roll up and kind of like make his home their home and are talking about this like big grand adventure, Bilbo's kind of resistant to it, but in his mind, like there's a little bit of like, ooh, that sounds exciting. Like, the Took side of him is kind of like intrigued by it. So I think Gandalf was really smart to kind of like pick him out, because any other Hobbit, I'm sure, would not
No
be
way.
up to it. But he happened to find the one that was like, there may be something here.
Yeah, could you imagine how much it would suck if he's like, I'm going to choose the Sackville Bagginses? The book would be terrible because they're like one of the worst hobbits. They would die immediately. They'd make everyone miserable. I don't know.
It'd be a very different book.
Very different book.
Yeah, the ring just stays with Gollum for time immemorial.
They got me. This also felt the most. I was like, oh, this is. Everybody talks about Lord of the Rings. This is where D&D gets its thing, and I was like, this feels like a D&D adventure.
Yeah.
The most, like it, because like he finds
Agreed.
a magical thing that he just uses over and over and over again, and like it had the D&D all over it. Like this was the actual D&D adventure.
Totally. Yeah, it feels a lot like a D&D adventure.
Yeah.
Without Tolkien, I don't think you have D&D. I don't think you have like modern fantasy. You don't even, in some ways, I feel like even Link is a woodland, pointy-eared guy around a bunch of other smaller, pointy-eared folks in a woodsy village setting, and then goes on a grand adventure. I feel like that whole thing just and kind of just a good segue into J.R.R. Tolkien, like a little blurb about him. And of course, I mean, everybody knows Tolkien, but this is something new that I learned. He was an Oxford professor who survived the trenches of World War I, watched a lot of his closest friends die in the most horrific war, I think, like to be in, for sure. And then around 1930, he was grading a stack of student exams and came upon a blank page in the stack. And on it, he wrote, "In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit." And at the time, he didn't know what a hobbit was or where he was going with it. But that sentence went on to hard launch the entire genre of modern fantasy. That's a cool story. That's like a sick origin story.
It makes me think of that that feeling now, like when we're at war and you're just like, what the hell is the point in being a artistic person? Because it's like it's not useful. And you're like, oh, there's guys that were in World War II, and then they're just like, you know what? I'm gonna write a book. Let me do a little fun thing and
Well,
like
yeah, and that was
impart tales for people to learn from. Like it gives you a little bit of I don't know, something I needed.
yeah, for sure.
Well, I feel like it's almost a writer's job to kind of reacquaint ourselves with our humanity,
Mhm.
because any book worth reading is going to like, I don't know, give you a sense of something to hold on to, in my opinion. So yeah, out of great suffering and out of great destruction often comes these masterpieces because I feel like they come from these people who are trying to like find those glimmers of humanity and glimmers of goodness. And you get that like so much in Lord of the Rings and even in The Hobbit. I mean, like especially in Lord of the Rings where it feels like so much is going wrong and there's so much danger and darkness on the horizon. You find these glimmers of hope in like good people doing the right thing for the right thing's sake. And yeah, I just think that's a beautiful thing that Tolkien gifted us.
For sure.
Yeah. And it's I think Paul Schrader, the guy who wrote Taxi Driver, he's talking about how he writes. He's like, you find a problem and then you make a metaphor about that problem. And that's you like if you can do that, you can write forever because
Hmm.
it'll be good no matter what it is. Even if the metaphor is dumb, you're writing from like you're solving something and it will make you like your brain just actively engages with it and people will engage with your engagement. And I don't know. I just saw that the other day and that popped in my head. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's a
what these
cool way of
stories do
approaching
for you.
it. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And the problems Tolkien must have seen and had to emotionally work through seeing all of that. It's
Oh my
like you get
gosh.
this template of like, what's the mind of someone who can really like weather the storm here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's jump into our setting here. We begin in the Shire, which, Tolkien didn't write the soundtrack, but, I'll credit him anyways. It's the most nostalgic little tune of all time.
Yo, guys, I
Shout
could
out
I could
James
play
Horner.
I could play the first part on the flute. You want me to get it? I won't do it. I won't do it, but I could.
Get the flute. Get the flute out, Kyle.
I don't know. It's,
Yeah, Kyle.
I think my wife hit it.
Yeah, Aaron, for your reference, Kyle has a flute that just pops up at the worst and most inopportune times. But Eliza is taking care of that. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I don't know where it is, and that makes me mad, actually.
That also makes me mad. I love the pan flute.
I'll
I
find
love
it.
when you
That's
play
funny.
that's the pan flute.
I'll
It's
find
amazing.
it, and she's like, "Oh, the baby's sleeping." I'm like, "This is good for him. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs to learn."
Well,
Anyway,
the Shire is a village of green hills, circular doors, and hobbits, little folks with big hairy feet, who want nothing more than a full pantry and a quiet afternoon. But east of the Shire, the world gets dangerous fast. Goblin-infested mountains, a forest choked with giant spiders, and beyond it, the Lonely Mountain, where a dragon named Smaug has been sleeping on a stolen dwarf fortune for generations.
Shire's the
That's
greatest.
where we begin.
I'm in love with the Shire. I hope heaven is like
Yeah.
the Shire.
Dude, I'm a hobbit in my heart. I just like listening to Tolkien describe like how hobbits live and like Bilbo describing his ideal lifestyle. I'm like, dog, you and I are the same. Like, I just want to like chill in my house with like a cozy fire and lots of like tasty food and read books and just chill. Just want
No,
to hang, man.
I'm
Like,
with you, dude. Growing up, I'm like, I'm an Aragorn. I'm a Boromir. I'm a Legolas. And then
mhm.
once I became an adult, like 21, I'm like, no, I'm a Hobbit. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't take
Yup.
me anywhere. Just let me eat
Mhm.
food and chill and
Mhm.
read books. And that's it.
Totally. Totally. Yep.
Absolutely. Bilbo epitomizes what we're talking about here. He's a fussy, anxious little hobbit who's never left home. He's half Baggins, safe and predictable side of the family, and half Took, meaning somewhere deep down there's a call to adventure that he's been ignoring his whole life.
Aaron just talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
Aaron
Let's move.
called it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know where we were
Well
going.
done, Aaron. You definitely read the book.
Thanks, guys. I
But
passed
this is
the
a
test.
test. This is a
Mhm.
test.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you passed it early, so the rest is just cheddar. We're in
Yeah.
bonus points territory now.
Everything's cheddar cheese.
Gandalf is the wandering wizard with a bad habit of whisking hobbits away on highly consequential adventures and then disappearing from said adventures periodically on wizard business. He's going to do that a lot. Is basically his thing. It's his MO.
Yeah. Luckily, did you guys watch all the movies?
I have
I've seen all
seen
the
them all.
Hobbit movies. It's been so long.
Yeah, I saw him in
They-
theaters. That was the last time I saw him.
with the high frame rate, which made it look like a weird bad video game.
Yeah.
They decide we're gonna fill you in on everywhere Gandalf's been, and it's not satisfying to know where he
And they're
went.
like, we're also going to speculate on where Gandalf's
Wasn't
been.
We're gonna
Wasn't he just like hanging with Radagast most of the time? Just like talking about Sauron's return?
Yeah, and then they tried to drive Sauron out of Mirkwood. Was kind of the idea. I think it's very much implied or like subtly implied.
You watch him do it in the movies, and it's terrible. But I think don't they tell you in the Silmarillion or something what actually happened?
I forget.
I don't
I
know.
tried listening to the Silmarillion. I think I retained like 2% of it.
That's
It covers some ground.
Yeah, that's one of the
Yeah.
things I listen to as I'm falling asleep because I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna stay
It's
awake.
boring.
Because
That was an audiobook that I really enjoyed though, because Andy Serkis narrated
my
it, and
God.
he
Ah.
is goated. Oh, it's so
Yeah,
good.
reading
Oh
the
my
book
God.
was great, but now I'm like, now this is just a little peaceful stuff to fall asleep to.
There you go.
Yeah.
We also have 13 dwarves, not to be confused with the 7 dwarves, although their leader Thorin is a bit grumpy.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
See what I did
Hey,
there?
And
Got 'em.
apparently, sexy as hell.
It is just the 7 dwarfs. Let's be honest. It's the same thing. There's
Okay,
just 2 of most
how
of
many
them.
can you guys name off the top of your head?
I can't. Like, they all have the same name to me. Like, and the book doesn't really do a lot to like differentiate
No, it
all of them,
doesn't.
except Thorin. Like Thorin is like the leader, like the badass guy, and everyone else is just kind of like there.
Maybe,
So,
maybe Philly and well, no, not even
Philly,
that much either.
Killy, isn't there Bloin and Gloin?
Okay, it's not Bloin. Oin, Gloin, Biffer, Boffer, Bomber.
Okay, he knows him.
Yeah, half the names are the same. I think there's Chuck, and
but Chuck isn't
Gary.
in there.
Chuck
No
is-
Chuck.
there's no Chuck. I'm just kidding.
I don't
There's,
remember
yeah.
Chuck.
That'd be so
the
funny. It's
dwarf.
like Oin, Gloin, Chuck,
Atreyu is in there.
Atreyu.
You know,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Canada, Patrick.
No,
We
this
get to
is-
the normal names as soon as we meet the trolls, because one of the trolls' name
It's
is like
true.
Will.
Bert.
William,
they're like,
and
they're like Bill and Will and Tom.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like normal dudes' names.
It's
So
great name for goblins, or I mean for trolls, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was actually something like a little self plug here in the Legend of Oz. That's something I did with like all the human names. Is they're just like normal names like Ryan and Steve.
I
Because I
love
think
it.
that's funny. You know, because like in
Yeah.
fantasy, you've got like Xylophone the Aged or like Asparagus the Wise. Or like, dude, what if it's just like Tom? What
Yeah.
if it's just Steve?
Greg.
You know,
Yeah.
it's funny. Yeah, like Greg. Greg's perfect, dude.
Greg the
yeah, I kinda
Great.
love
And
that.
you're just like, yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So it's
And
fun.
of course, like Sandy Blanderstone.
Sandy
right?
Brambleton. Yeah,
Brambleton.
yeah. Sandy Brambleton, the famous author who's been
Yeah.
cursed to write nothing but big books.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
yeah.
any resemblance to persons living or dead is purely coincidental there.
Purely coincidental. Purely coincidental. Yeah, it's yeah, it was just completely out of thin air. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Gandalf shows up at Bilbo's door looking for someone to share in an adventure. Bilbo says no. That evening, 13 dwarves arrive uninvited, eat everything in his pantry, and sing a haunting song about their stolen mountain. Something wakes up inside of Bilbo hearing that song. It's the Tookish call to adventure. By morning, he's running out the door to join a quest to reclaim the Lonely Mountain from a dragon.
I think the part that stresses me out the most in this book is when just 13 dudes show up and start eating all his food and occupying his house. Like, that would terrify me. I'd be like, I don't know you. You're bigger than me. You're stouter than me.
Mhm.
And all my food's gone. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That would stress me
like
out.
to their credit, like dinner that night they do wash up. Like they do
That's
all
true.
the dishes,
To be
and that was
fair.
cool.
They're good
But like the
guests.
next morning they don't. They just like leave a huge mess for him to like take care of.
Ooh,
They're like, when
Yeah.
we
Tricked
get
him.
back
It was
from
a
this
honeypot.
adventure, yeah.
yeah. I haven't thought about the inconsistency there is like kind of a middle finger. They're like, we can clean, we just didn't on the
Yeah.
second one.
We just decided not to. My biggest fear would be 13 guys coming into your house and then just being like, hey, we wrote a song.
You're like, don't do that.
And I'm like, no. And then they all start singing, like, no, please no.
What if it's a banger though? Because I mean, the way they wrote it in the movies was pretty
very
sick.
good.
Like really
It's very
haunting
cool.
and cool.
I
But
think
like,
it fits
imagine
it, yeah.
being in the room when 13 guys decide to do a haunting ballad. And when you're in the room, it would be
That's
like, this
true.
is weird.
Yeah, I've known you guys for like a couple hours, and now you have this like really sad song you're gonna sing about your faraway home. Like
Yeah.
you just sit there awkwardly, being like, "Dang, guys, that sucks."
It's
Oh,
like,
wow.
freaking buzzkills, get out of here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just gonna watch Netflix, and now 13 guys are singing about how they just miss Haiti. Like, this is
Yeah.
no fun. I don't like this.
This is one step less crazy than that guy who has a guitar and knows Wonderwall and is
Yeah.
just waiting for the opportunity to
And
play Wonderwall.
And how come that guy never has shoes on? Where are his shoes? Why is he always
Get out.
barefoot?
Who invited him?
Yeah, he's the guy who started the touch grass thing. It came from a bad place, but it means good things.
No,
Yeah.
I feel like the dwarf situation is like 13 dudes rolling up and all playing Wonderwall at the same
At the same time.
Like, yeah.
Like,
And they're
jeez.
harmonizing and doing different. And
Yeah.
they're trying to be all cool, and you're just like,
One up
guys.
each other. You're like, this
Mhm.
is a nightmare.
And if you're
Yeah.
stoned, which I assume Bilbo's stoned when this
Oh,
happened,
he definitely was.
Yeah.
that's talk about a nightmare. Like I can't be. I can be with like 2 people and be like, I think they hate me. He's with 13 guys singing Wonderwall all at different times. I'm
Forget about
freaking
it.
out. I'm gonna pee in my pants, man.
That's funny.
Well, not long into their journey, the company gets captured by 3 very regular named trolls who argue over how to cook them. Gandalf shows up and impersonates their voices to keep the trolls arguing until the dawn turns them to stone. Dawn, take you all. Sorry,
very
going
good.
on.
That was good. Good job, man.
It was
Appreciate
good. I
that.
liked it.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was a good wizard voice.
You should hear me play Wonderwall. I can play. Later, while traveling through the Misty Mountains, the party is captured by goblins, and they're subsequently saved, the party, again by Gandalf. During a chaotic escape, Bilbo is separated from the group and falls deep into the caves, where he finds a little golden ring, after which he's confronted by a freaky little guy named Gollum, stalls with a riddle contest before discovering that the ring turns the wearer invisible and slipping away, having scored his first W on the adventure due to his cleverness and handy-dandy new ring.
Did you guys watch the is it Ralph Bakshi version, the animated Hobbit? Did you guys ever watch that growing
No.
up?
I when the first Lord of the Rings was coming out, all that was out was that, and then I think the first Lord of the Rings was animated too.
Mhm.
Yeah, from
And I
like
would
the
watch.
70s.
Yeah, I would watch those just like
Those are
Are they
good.
good?
They're I
Okay,
mean,
I've heard mixed things.
yeah,
They're
they're a
not good.
trip. But the part where Bilbo gets separated at this point is he just like falls down this never-ending hole, and as a kid I'm like, he's gonna die. Nobody falls that far and survives. And then he just gets up and dusts himself off. And of course they're singing the entire time too.
Yeah.
But give it a
This
watch.
thing is
No
very
fall
much a
damage.
musical.
Yeah.
No fall damage.
It's a no fall damage. This is a musical.
It is a musical.
This is a
It's a
musical.
musical?
Basically.
It's a
Deus Ex
musical.
Machina, the musical, is what we could call this, because that's
Ah,
what
good
happens.
heavens.
It's what happens every
Because
time.
okay,
Because
got it.
if you're gonna capture a bunch of dwarves, you got to be singing. Otherwise, what's the point?
You gotta
That's
sing a
true.
song.
The
Yeah.
goblins do sing a song. There's a lot of singing in
Yeah.
Tolkien, which I gotta think Tolkien
I
was
did like.
doing. Like it's quite ambitious. You're like writing a story, and you're like, we're gonna get extremely poetic here. We're gonna be playing with all kinds of. Yeah, I mean, he's writing whole songs that go
The
on
dude
for
likes his
pages and
poetry.
pages.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
And it's like an older guy who's just like tough, really trying to be like writing a kid story, and he's like, I got a little bit too scary. I love you.
Here's a song.
But it's good.
Calm me down.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it is a kid's book, but like there's a lot of instances in
It's
the book. I'm
dark.
like, yo, that's kind of terrifying. Like,
Yeah,
dude, this is for kids? Okay, all right.
really. I think this is a good I mean, obviously it's a companion piece to Lord of the Rings, but I think some people look at it, oh, it's the kids' version of Lord of the Rings. I disagree with that. I think it's give it a bit more credit. Obviously, Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece, so much more in depth. And geared towards adults in a lot of cases. But if you read this one as an adult, I mean, I've enjoyed it every time I've read it as an adult and found it to be pretty poignant, as opposed to some of the kids' books I read now and then with my son. It's like bear sat on wall, bear fall. I'm like, screw you, Dr. Seuss. You
Totally.
can't rhyme words with made up words. That's not how words work. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I mean, like, speaking as an adult who just finished this book less than an hour ago, like, I do appreciate the tone that Tolkien has taken with it. It's definitely, you can tell it's definitely like meant to be like a storybook. Like the way that he's written the prose is like the narrator is almost his own personality, where like things are happening in the story, but the narrator has to like butt in and be like, by the way, like this is happening because of this happened over here. And, you know, there's a lot of like tell, don't show going on, which is like not necessarily a great thing to be doing when you're writing a book, but we give Tolkien a pass because this was written like 90 years ago. So it's cool. But yeah, this is definitely like it has more of a storybook feel than Lord of the Rings does for sure.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a primer.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Also important to notice or to note the chronology here because this came first. Tolkien wrote down on a piece of paper, the story goes, the very first sentence of The Hobbit. He was testing the story and developing the story by telling his kids bedtime stories. So it makes total sense that it sort of developed into what it is. And I picture in my mind a guy who's telling a story to his kids and then discovering along the way, there's a lot here. We could go deeper. I want to go deeper here, here, here. I want to know where these elves came from. I want this to develop into a bigger conflict. Anyways, I love the idea that he got done with The Hobbit and he was like, all right, time to get serious.
Yeah, and
He's like, I got some shit to work out.
Yeah. After he finished The Hobbit, because The Hobbit came out in 1937, and then the first Lord of the Rings book didn't come out until 1954, something like that.
It was a while later, yeah.
But he spent 10 years building the lore of Middle Earth before he even started penning Lord of the Rings. He spent a decade on it just world building, which is nuts.
Yeah, and
I love that.
I'd heard he'd been world building in some of the notes. I read the notes from Tolkien or letters from Tolkien, and in some of the trenches in World War I, he's like, I'm just going to create a mythology in one of the most worst, terrible situations a human could be in. And he starts world building then probably to find peace. I don't know. And then but I love that he's had these ideas. He has The Hobbit, and then you're right. He's like, I'm going to give it some time and do it justice before I bring all these other characters in. It's just it's like his life mission was this mythology, which is amazing.
Yeah, I don't know how true this is. I heard this once upon a time, but there's Norse mythology, there's Greek mythology, but Tolkien being British, he just saw there was a lack of English mythology. So he took it upon himself to make some, and that is Middle Earth essentially.
I've heard that too, yeah. Because if you think about it, the Arthurian tales, I think they technically come from Ireland or some of the more Celtic areas. So he's just like, yeah, we don't have one. I'll do it. And I'll do it better than anyone else. So
you freaking did it, dude.
It's because they steal it from everybody else. We're pretty anti-England here.
No, you're anti-England.
No, listen, I'm on your side. Listen, Hull is a very British name, all right? But it is not lost on me that anyway, they were the OG colonizers. They
made they made it what it is.
You go to any British museum of everything in there, it does not belong in England. It is just stuff snatched from around the world, man.
Of course they didn't have their own mythology because they were too busy stealing everybody else's.
It is,
and then one guy was like, "What if we stop stealing it?" And they're like, "All right, bet that's pretty cool. That's it for now."
But we are definitely still going to put little pieces of metal in our Christmas cake.
For no damn reason.
Doing that.
Bunch of losers.
we do find in some of the books we read, it always goes back to England being bad. That's kind of a theme.
Yeah.
That you read enough books, you're like, oh, the OG colonizers pop up quite a bit.
The colonizers and imperialists are always the bad guy, and kind of rightfully so.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it. After exiting the caves and narrowly escaping an altercation with more goblins and some giant wolves called wargs, the company enters Mirkwood, a thick forest where the air feels heavy and sanity becomes difficult to retain. Gandalf leaves them at the edge, yelling, "Don't leave the path!" So then they leave the path, and giant spiders wrap them in silk and hang them from trees. Bilbo kills a spider with his little elvish knife, puts on his handy-dandy ring, and single-handedly frees every dwarf. No longer the bumbling hobbit they brought along, he's earned the dwarves' respect, which is good, because they immediately get captured by wood elves and locked in a dungeon, after which Bilbo busts them out, after just staying invisible for weeks, by the way, with the ring on, with the aid of some barrels and, of course, the handy-dandy ring, because the undefeated Bilbo has now grown into a full-grown burgle.
You know what kind of weirds me out, though, is in the Lord of the Rings, we see the effect of wearing the ring for a short amount of time on Frodo. He kind of gets wigged out, and by the end of his journey, he's the ring's mine. He's fully
it wears him
grasped by it.
down.
Yeah, but in The Hobbit, Bilbo's freaking wearing that thing for days or weeks on end. And he's just chilling. He's just fine. It doesn't bother him at all. So I'm like, J.R.R? There's a little inconsistency
going
here,
on?
man.
I do feel like when we meet Bilbo in Lord of the Rings, he's crazy. He should be a lot crazier at this point. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
should be like eating grass and just doing weird stuff.
He's just a goat man.
Yeah.
I think that Bilbo's a little, that toque thing that he's talking about, I think he's a little fucked up. I think he's a little evil guy. And that's why like he's wearing the ring, and like everybody else, it's like, oh God, there's like this evil calling to me. And he's just like, that's just that's the demons that are already in here, buddy.
So he's just naturally evil. Like that's why the ring doesn't really affect him that much.
Exactly. He's already got that dog in him. And,
Tendencies.
He's just like, oh, who's this? Oh yeah, I know this voice.
He does kill a lot of spiders in Mirkwood. Like,
Yeah. It does seem pretty unbothered by it though.
Yeah.
Usually your first kill is like really traumatizing, but he's just like, and like just keeps doing it.
He's
as
like, you know what?
necessary.
This felt great, actually. I need to
Yeah.
chase this
I've
feeling.
never felt more alive ever.
Yeah.
You're right.
And we
he is
know this
unbothered.
because his whole way of retiring in the Fellowship is that he's going to trick everybody and disappear and scare everyone before he leaves. So we know he's kind of a fucked up guy.
Yeah, he's got something going on.
He's got
Little
that
screw loose.
Winston sense of humor where he's like, "Oh, I'm pulling a prank. I stabbed him." Like he's
You
got a little
Winston
bit of
from
that.
New Girl? Is that
Yes.
what we're
Okay,
comparing
yeah.
Bilbo back? Okay.
I
But
want to give
also, like-
Bilbo a bit more credit, but I don't know.
I get like Bilbo wanting to play a prank on everyone in the Shire though, because like
Yeah.
when he comes back at the end of this book, everyone's just like assumed he's dead and starts auctioning off all of his stuff. So I would be mad at everyone in my town too. I'd be like, you know what, F you guys, I'm out. Like,
Yeah,
You
he's
know?
petty, so he's just like, "I'm gonna wait for a little bit, but I'm gonna get you
Yeah.
everyone. I'm gonna get all."
Yeah.
of them."
even if I have to wait decades for the perfect prank,
Yeah,
I will.
We're gonna
Just
be
freaking wait.
It's a long play. This is where the fact that The Hobbit came first, you can tell, because I think the whole time Tolkien's writing this, he didn't really have it in his head that this ring was like the evil presence that it becomes. And also, so there's that, which is, I think, like a, give Tolkien a little slack, but I do like the way that he worked it in later, which is that the ring wanted to be free, not turning the evil all the way up to 11 like it is for Frodo. There you go. That's my that's my way to
Okay.
get through that little plot
I
hole.
also think, if you, in the books, Frodo has the ring for a long time before he goes on the quest, but he's not wearing it consistently or ever. Whereas, like you said, Bilbo at this point, he wears it for like days on end, hanging around Mirkwood and just trying to figure out how to free his dwarves,
stabbing spiders, and
stabbing spiders and doing who knows what in the Elven realm, completely invisible. I don't know.
There you go.
Something like
He just wants to get back. He's like, I'm trying to get to Sauron right now, so we're going to take it easy on this guy. Well, they get through Mirkwood. They escape from the Wood Elves, and they float down the river in some barrels, and eventually get to Lake Town, where there's a bunch of people living there, humans. They don't live in their initial city, which was Dale, because it got totally roasted by Smaug. But from Lake Town, they go to the Lonely Mountain, and when they get there, Bilbo descends a pitch-black tunnel until he lays his eyes on Smaug for the first time, a red gold dragon sleeping on a sea of treasure. Bilbo does his best to match wits with the dragon, but Smaug is dangerously sharp. He figures out the men of Lake Town must be helping the dwarves and decides to punish them. Before fleeing, Bilbo spots a bare patch on Smaug's left breast, a gap in his otherwise impenetrable jeweled armor. That night, Smaug destroys the secret entrance to the mountain and flies south to burn Lake Town to the ground. So the dwarves are now trapped inside the mountain with fortune and gold, but no way out.
And this is where my favorite character shows up, which is that little bird that accidentally
The
shows them how to the thrush.
The thrush.
Where he accidentally he helps them open up the castle, which I'm like, or the secret door. Which I'm like, that's a terrible way to hide your door. It's like eventually maybe a bird will come up and smash an acorn, and that's where the key is. That's how the key goes in.
Yeah.
But then that thrush also is just sitting there listening to people and can talk apparently, and goes and talks to
You're damn
what's his
right it can
name?
talk.
Bard.
And it goes and talks to Bard. I was just like, this little guy, he's like there's a little Iago in this story, just out of nowhere.
That's funny. Iago, that's terrific.
Also, Smaug sucks.
Yeah, he's bad news.
So, yeah,
he wants
he's a red dragon, which is the scariest of the dragons according to D&D lore. I don't know why.
Is that
Like,
it? I
can't-
thought, isn't that what Hannibal Lecter calls himself? I don't know.
No, that
think
is
it
what
is.
Hannibal Lecter. No, Francis Dollarhide is the Red Dragon.
Who the heck is Francis Dollarhide? You're making that up.
Voldemort, right? Ralph Fiennes' character.
Ralph Fiennes, and actually, in a fun connection to this book to keep it all tied together, the guy who played Francis Dollarhide in the Hannibal Lecter TV show is played by the same guy who played Thorin in the Hobbit movies. I don't remember his
Whoa.
name, but it's the same guy.
Small
Interesting.
world.
What does this have to do with Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, what are you talking
Kevin
about?
Bacon. He lives in the house where I train this kid. I train a little kid. That's outside. I met
Wow,
Kevin
that's
Bacon the other
weird.
day.
So,
I didn't meet him.
like-
I just talked to him for a second. Anyways, back to what we're talking
What
about.
what I like about Smog is his weakness is if you shoot him in his left breast, he will die. And that is also my weakness. Because if you shoot me
Yeah.
in my left breast, it will hit my heart and I will die immediately. So we're the same.
You and
Yeah,
Smug share that.
We share that.
Yeah, you have a lot in common once you kind of lay it out like
When
that.
you lay it out like
Yeah.
that, it's like, oh, I can't fly.
You like to slither around on the
Yeah.
floor.
hmm
Sometimes.
Smog is like really stuck on himself though. I mean, like with Bilbo's riddling and everything, like kind of just like flattering Smog. Smog like totally played it, and you're like, yeah, I'm awesome. Like,
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
this big scary dragon. I know,
Like,
but
Yeah, Smaug talks, which did totally catch me off guard because I'm not used to dragons talking. They're like animals in a lot of fantasy, and he
Oh, no, they can
totally
talk.
he's like
not only can he talk, he's a total asshole.
yeah,
It's a
big
tool.
facts, big facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's normal for dragons to talk in a lot of fantasy things. Like I don't.
Yeah.
What about the
dragon
Aragon
are you
sword?
referring to?
Aragon.
you know.
Pretty
Now that
common.
you're pressing me on this, I'm like,
The Legend
I'm like,
of
The Legend of
okay, we got talking
Yeah.
dragons in there.
Yeah,
The
you
sequel
sure got
coming
'em.
out April 26th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
You've
exactly.
just seen How to
Thank
Train Your
you.
Dragon. That's the only thing you watch on repeat.
That's it.
fair.
That's what it is.
Is that what it
They
is?
don't
Just
talk
watching
in
How to
that
Train
one.
Your
It must
Dragon.
be, yeah. Thank you, Kyle, for coming to my rescue because I was desperately trying to think of a dragon who can't talk and I couldn't do it. So there we
in
go.
the Game of
Toothless.
Thrones dragons, I don't think talk, do they?
I don't know.
They're lame.
Those
They're
dragons
not as
also
cool.
suck.
Yeah.
Some dragons talk, some don't.
What
That's
about
moral
Blue
of the
Eyes
story.
Wide Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh?
I
Come
don't
on.
think he
He's a-
talks. He just kind of roars and stays on a card.
Stays on a card. He just hangs out
Yeah.
on the card all day.
He's an inanimate object, which is tough.
Bummer.
There was a whole period of elementary school where that was like the absolute status symbol. It was like, if
Yeah.
you have a blue eyes, white shining dragon, you're like the guy.
Dang.
Yeah.
That was the top.
And I had like magician's uncle or something, and no one
Uh-huh.
cared about that card.
Not the magician's nephew.
Yeah, I was thinking magician's
you couldn't call
nephew from
C.S.
C.S.
Lewis.
Lewis.
That's
yeah.
it.
My
Yeah, yeah.
goodness. It's getting
No.
convoluted in here.
No, for
Well,
me, it was the holographic Charizard.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
like
Yeah.
if you had one of
Yeah.
those first edition Charizard cards, like you were envied by everyone at school. I tried so hard to get one of those, I can never swing it.
You know,
Those things are worth like thousands of that. My girlfriend's brother-in-law just sold a bunch of those and made a shit ton of money off of it. Like
Good for
Pokemon is
him.
another level. It's another
I've-
level.
I've thought about now that I'm grown up. I'm like, do I want to buy a Charizard card because I never had one as a kid, you know? But for me, it's almost like if you have to buy it, kind of lame, you know? Like when you're a kid,
Steal it.
yeah, steal it. Friggin' plan a heist and just steal it. That's
that
it.
would be worth it. I feel like
Yeah.
that would be because then I'd be like taking back my childhood self
Yeah.
because I stole a Charizard.
Doesn't Logan Paul have this like super first edition,
I
super
think
pristine?
so.
I would watch that movie of like someone plotting a heist to steal not just a Charizard, but
Absolutely.
specifically Logan Paul's
Logan Paul's
Charizard.
That's a
Charizard.
movie.
Yeah, I'd
Mhm.
watch
Write it
it.
down.
I'd watch that. I'd watch that. It'd be so great. I'll write the script starting
That'd
today.
be great, please.
Right.
And then he tries to box him, but there's an actual real boxer there, so he just gets his trash kicked.
Yeah.
That's part of the heist.
Yeah.
Or even better, it's like, you know, Logan Paul starts to fight, but he like slips on a puddle on the floor and like hits his head on the counter on the way down, just knocks himself out.
He
slips
slips
on
on
that-
a little red stool,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
just
and then
bonk.
Clint Eastwood's like helps him, just puts his little plug in his mouth so he can pull his own plug.
$1 Million Baby.
Yeah.
I want
Wow.
him to slip on that
got dark.
stupid
That
drink.
got
he's
really,
always
really
riding.
dark.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Dang, he's connected that. That
And then
was
he's
great.
brain dead, and like it's hilarious. Yeah, that movie's dark.
And then you feel bad for Logan Paul, but you're like, I got the Charizard.
Mike Tyson's just like in the background showing his bare ass to the entire world. It's just
Like
like,
he did
sweet
in the
revenge.
fight.
Here we go.
It's just
And
the plot
just-
twist. Plot twist. Mike Tyson planned the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's standing outside the
He's
hospital
the-
room going, everything is going according to plan.
This is how I planned it. Tyson's 12.
Did we get the Charizard?
Oh,
Tell me,
yeah.
tell me we got the Charizard.
Okay, please write that, Aaron. Please, Aaron.
Yeah,
please.
we're getting it figured out. Don't worry, guys.
All right.
Perfect.
Incredible. Well, stay tuned for that. We'll return now to Smaug, raining fire on Lake Town. Little Birdie, the thrush McKylan referenced earlier, tells a boatman named Bard the Boatman about the weak spot in Smaug's armor. Bard fires his last arrow, the black arrow, and it
So
strikes
sick.
true. So cool.
Yeah.
Bringing Smaug crashing dead into the lake. But the crisis is far from over. The men and the wood elves want a piece of that sweet, sweet treasure. And Thorin, mad with greed now, immediately barricades the mountain and
What
refuses.
do they call it? What is it called? Gold,
Something
gold
sickness.
madness
Gold fever
or something?
like that.
Yeah.
Mountain
Yeah.
Is it gold?
sickness. I don't know.
I love gold.
Gold fever is a power-up in Vampire Survivors. Did you just subconsciously drop that? Have you played that game? Okay.
I've never heard of that
Yeah,
game.
Evan, you're the
Vampire
only one who plays that
Survivors.
game.
Yeah, me neither. I've never heard of it either.
That sounds awesome.
That's your
Let's
whole
move
damn
I
on.
life.
It's the
I
best.
gotta
Yeah,
Google what this game is now.
The
'cause I've
amount of
never
times you
heard of
told
it.
me about that game,
it's 10 out of 10, dude. I'm telling you. It's the best.
And you get gold fever in Vampire Survivor.
Yeah, and then every enemy you kill gives you a bunch of gold, and you have to keep killing enemies, or else the gold fever runs out, and you can get just absolutely.
is that the same as yellow fever, or is that different?
It's the same.
What about
That
jungle
is
fever?
exactly the same.
Jungle
Yellow-
fever is also the same. These are all
These
different
are all
words for the same thing.
Yes,
Okay.
jungle
Dude, yeah.
fever is you just have to keep getting people so you can get gold.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
what jungle fever is, Kyle.
Yeah. So they call it something,
They
and
call it mountain sickness.
Thorin
No, I don't
has
know
it.
what they call
Mountain.
is it dragon
madness.
sickness?
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's
I think
called-
it's dragon sickness.
It's called being a selfish little bitch, is what it's called.
He's real greedy. He's a greedy man, dwarf at this point. He barricades the mountain, refuses to share a single golden coin, and before the three armies destroy each other, two massive armies of goblins and wargs attacks from the north. And what do you call a battle between three armies and two armies? The battle of 5 armies. Thorin charges out in shining armor. Some eagles do get involved. Beorn, a shape-shifting bear man, kills the goblin chief.
Damn
and
right.
Thorin, is a
Dude,
victory
sick.
Yeah.
Kyle's people.
Kyle's favorite character.
Yeah. Also, he makes honey cakes. Come on.
That's dope.
And he talks
Man
to
can do it
animals.
all.
Yeah, he can do it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, he can bake. He can like lay it out on the battlefield. Like kind of sick.
How is he not married?
He's probably just happily single. You know, just
Yeah.
doing his thing.
It's like,
you
I
know,
don't
just
need that.
vibing.
He's like,
How
I
can
got
you tie him down?
Can't do it. Don't even try.
because he'll turn into a bear and escape.
Yeah, you will. You physically can't. And Thorin in the battle is mortally wounded. On his
Mhm.
deathbed, he tells Bilbo,
Sorry, bro.
yeah, he says sorry. And then he says,
My bad, dog.
dang.
I was being rude, bro.
That's on me.
Mhm.
If more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world.
I love
Then he
that quote.
dies.
Yeah,
That's a good quote.
I
That's-
bookmarked that one.
One of my
Yep.
favorite of the whole book.
There's
That was the
another
best
one
part of the book.
that hits me, and as they're returning to the Shire, I think it's Gandalf. Like Bilbo's looking back, and Gandalf is like, "So comes fire, or so comes rain after fire, and even dragons have their endings." And when I read that, I just like started crying at one point because I'm like, things get better, even the most
That's really
terrible
sweet,
things.
dude.
It's a
That's
good,
awesome.
it's a good quote. And the Lord of the Rings is filled with quotes like that, but the Hobbit has some gems like that too. So
Totally. Yeah, there are like 2 or 3 lines in this book where I was like, "Dang, J.R.R, it's pretty dang good." But
Fire.
but the one that I really liked was the one that you read. I mean, I have this thing where when I start reading a new book, I have a small stack of like Magic the Gathering and Pokemon cards that like
Oh,
I sift through them to find the vibe for the book, and like that's my bookmark for the book. But if I find any quotes throughout the book that I really like, I leave that magic card in there like permanently, so I can find the quote if I ever want to like reference it again. And that got left on the on the quote that you read, Evan. So that's just tasty. Like, so what was that quote that you said though? That's like when he's returning to the Shire.
I can't quote it directly. I had it written on my wall at one point. But I
That's
think it's
sick.
like, "So comes rain after fire, and even dragons have their endings." I'm sure I'm butchering it.
Oh, that gave me
But
chills though. That's freaking good.
It's
dude.
a good one.
Taking
gonna
it
freaking
back
find
to
this.
something that Aaron said earlier, like when you think about it, as Tolkien's a man who's had to like move on and just like do the next day after watching a friend die in a trench, and then deal with trench warfare, which is crazy. I don't know. I think we get some of these quotes from a place where it's like, this is how I figured out how to just do the next day. after really. So anyways, incredibly valuable wisdom, I think.
Yeah, for real.
Except for if there's 3 armies that are on the same side fighting 2 armies that are on kind of the same side, isn't that just one-on-one? That's
It's two armies, really.
yeah, I'm just like it's just 2 armies fighting. I just want to make sure we remember that. That's been bothering me.
If you want to do the math, yeah, technically.
It's not 5 armies. They all team up. It's like it's
but they're all different.
Battle of the 5 species, maybe, is what we could
there
say.
You go.
Well, that's racist.
Yeah.
The quote is, "So comes snow after fire, and even dragons have their endings." So you got it right.
Thank you. I said rain instead of snow.
Does it from where you've had? Does it say what chapter it's in? It's got to be near the end.
Yeah, I think it's shortly after. I was gonna say what's his face. I know his name. Thorin
that's
dies.
actually Bilbo. That says.
Is it Bilbo who says it?
Yes.
Wow, that kind of makes it better. Because he's learned after this journey.
That is at the end of chapter 13.
What? 13? Okay.
What?
Yep, there it is. It's like in the last paragraph. So comes snow after fire, even dragons have their ending. Shoot, I gotta get another magic card for that. That's tasty.
Tasty.
That's dope. I love that process. I'm gonna steal that from you for bookmarks, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start putting stuff.
Go to your local game store and just like go through their loose leaf magic cards that are like 10 cents a pop. Take a stack of them for like $4 or $5. It's fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
My kids are gonna be mad that I am taking all their Pokemon cards, but it's just what it has to be.
Like, Dad,
right.
They'll learn.
Did you take my Bulbasaur?
It's the dad tax. It's like, dude, this is my house. You live here, dude. This is called rent. I'm sorry.
Rent.
This is how it goes.
You'll just give them a little bit of money later on in life and just be like, pay a therapist, figure that out.
That was the plan, anyways. All right, so Bilbo goes home finally with just 2 small chests of treasure. Thorin is buried, having reclaimed his homeland, and Bard, the boatman, rebuilds the once ruined city of his people. When Bilbo reaches the Shire, he settles back into his home after evicting his relatives who started auctioning off all his stuff because they had him declared dead. And the other hobbits think he's gone strange. He now writes poetry, talks with elves, and has lost his respectability entirely. Now, we all know that all of this sets up another long journey to a mountain involving fellowships and towers and kings. Hell yeah.
Aaron's giving the dab as appropriate.
But that's a story for another time. The story of The Hobbit is just that. The story of one hobbit who followed the call to adventure when it arrived and returned to his home, having discovered who he really was. That's The Hobbit.
It's so good.
Whew, my goodness.
There you go. That's
great.
It. That's how you use that.
Just a solid piece of work right there.
It is so
incredible.
Good.
It's
great. I liked it a lot.
You know what? I think here's a hot take. Bilbo might be my favorite Hobbit.
He's my favorite Hobbit
more than Sam.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude.
Sam, and the more I read
Sam.
Lord of the Rings, every time I read it again, I really respect Frodo more. Because the movies do not do Frodo justice. Because he's a badass in the books. But I don't know. Bilbo, he's just so weird and cool. And he's like, I don't care that the rest of the Shire thinks I'm a weirdo. I'm going to be me because I'm a changed man.
I respect that.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I think he has a more useful to our context of life journey. Like you go out, you get a little funky, you come back home, you do your thing. Like that's a more valid use of like everyday life and like how to see yourself. Frodo, it's like he fought the devil and came back changed and then had to go home. You know what I mean? Like, it's really cool, but it's contextually I like can't take much from it. Like don't I don't know.
That's so valid.
You don't have the literal weight of existence on your shoulders.
On your shoulders. Yeah, but you can just be like, yeah, I hung out with some weird dudes. We got up some weird shit. And now I'm funky. I talk to weird people now.
Yeah.
What's up?
But he also
like
the kill count, there were a few dwarves who died. Like it wasn't just Thorin who died. A bunch of his buddies died.
Yeah, there were like 3 of them that passed.
Yeah,
and also they got murked.
Yeah, they got murked hard. And then, sorry, that's disrespectful. They did die.
To the fictional animals that died.
Rest in peace.
But then also Bilbo was about to die. Didn't he get like knocked out?
He's got knocked out like 3 different times.
Yeah.
He's not present for all the coolest shit.
Yeah.
It's very annoying.
Yeah, he got knocked out. That's how he met Gollum. He got knocked out like during the Battle of the 5 Armies, and there was like another third time that I can't remember.
I think he gets knocked out. That's how he doesn't get captured by the spiders, right? As he gets knocked out, and then he's like, "Oh, hey,
maybe,
what's up, guys?"
Very realistic.
As a writer, I wonder if Tolkien just has like reached points in his story. He's like, he gets knocked out, you know?
Yeah,
And just
I gotta
yeah, just couldn't think
like,
of
I don't
anything.
want this little kid man to, like, be in danger too much, so let's just we'll put him down for a minute, and then wake up when it's over.
But
Mhm.
when he wakes
Yeah.
up, he's gonna love killing spiders. He's just gonna go to town.
He's like,
It's
I'm
good,
gonna have
nobody
to
likes
do
spiders.
a lot of mechanics in this battle of 5 armies. So narrator is knocked out, unconscious, wakes up, it's happened. You know, Peter Jackson can figure it out way later.
Yeah.
That
So book facts. Let's jump in to Tolkien. He rewrote a whole chapter to set up Lord of the Rings. So in the original 1937 edition, this was a new fact to me. Gollum gives him the ring as a fair prize for losing the riddle game. When Tolkien needed the ring to be sinister for The Lord of the Rings, he rewrote the chapter in 1951, but kept the original story of Gollum giving him the ring as like the canonical lie that Bilbo tells under the ring's corrupting influence. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's
A
weird
little
to
retcon
think.
there.
a
They're
little
like
retcon.
originally Gollum's just like, oh man, you beat me at the riddles. Here you go.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
darn. Here
Oh,
you go.
yeah.
Kind of like a swipe or no swiping thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, man, here you go.
Bummer.
He's just a silly little weird man in the cave.
Yeah.
Just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, you beat me with your riddles.
Yep.
Okay, we didn't talk enough about riddles. This
There's some
Bilbo,
riddles.
Bilbo is just locked into his riddle game, and he is king at these bad boys. Like, you got to give him his flowers for his riddle game.
Yeah, his riddle game
Mhm.
is strong.
Yeah. That's one thing that, like, I can't relate to hobbits with. Where it's like, you obviously love your riddles. Like, dog, leave me alone with those riddles. I'm fine.
You're not a
Seriously.
riddles guy.
I'd be
No,
so
I'm
screwed.
good. Yeah, I'd be toast. Like, fine, keep your crummy rings. Whatever.
Yeah. Man.
Well, unfortunately, in the new version, if you lose the riddle game, Gollum eats you.
Oh, that's
So-
true.
That's fair.
I
yeah.
could take him though. I mean, he's
Yeah.
just like this, like he's just squirmy little guy. Like, come get it, bro. Yeah.
You could just choke him out, and you have a sword. He has a
Yeah.
knife. You have a knife.
That's true. Yeah. Like, what was he
Murder him.
worried about?
Yeah.
But it's a big
Anyway.
deal that he didn't murder him because
should have.
No,
Yeah,
he should
Lord
not
of the
have.
Rings would have been ruined.
What are you talking about, dude?
Oh, because then
Mac.
Frodo wouldn't have gotten to
Because
the,
it was
Yeah.
mercy that spared it.
Yeah. God works in mysterious ways.
Eru Iluvatar
sure.
works in mysterious ways.
I'm also tech companies. Just a little shout out to some tech companies. Stop naming your
I
ethically
hate it so
like
much.
Oh my gosh.
I hate it so much.
questionable companies after stuff from Lord of the Rings. We have a Palantir. We have a
Anduril.
Erebor and a Anduril. And I'm like,
it's 'cause
stop.
these
we have
tech
an
companies
Anduril
are
too?
creating demons so that they can, kill us all and take over the world. We know this. This is canon.
I do feel like Palantir is aptly named though, because the Palantir, like, gives you access to all sorts of things, but also drives you insane and turns you evil. So,
Yeah.
like,
At least the Palantir guys were self-aware. They're like, we're gonna do some bad stuff. Let's name it
Yeah.
after a
No,
bad
that's
thing.
not
some
good.
some dude in marketing was like, "This is what we're gonna call it," and I'm going to leave this place as soon as I can. Yeah.
Wait, but there's an Anduril too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're making autonomous drones
Oh
for
my
killing.
gosh. That's not even
Yeah.
applicable like Palantir.
Can't have
is.
it.
Mhm.
That doesn't make
Call
any
it what
sense.
it is. If you're going to borrow from fiction,
Skynet.
just Skynet. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Just call
So-
it. That's a T-100.
Mhm.
Well, there you go. Had to get that out there so that, we can solve that problem.
Yeah, that
Put it
pisses
to
me
rest.
right off.
I
Freak
hate
out
it
and be
so
sad.
much.
Only 1,500 first editions were printed. The first print ran in 1937 and sold out in 3 months. Today, only a few hundred survive, and one sold at auction for $300,000. So the book has since, though, sold an estimated 100 million copies worldwide.
Are you guys in Utah? Are you guys in like the Provo, Salt Lake
Yeah.
area?
Evan is. I'm in Bountiful. Yeah, so like
Oh, okay. Well, there's that rare bookstore down in Provo called Moon's Rare Books. Like, I would not be surprised if he had a first edition.
I was
Hobbit,
gonna
'cause
say-
he's got
Oh.
everything, dude.
I bet he has like one or two even. I bet because I've never been there. I want to go just to look at the first editions of all the
Mhm.
stuffs that I could never afford in my life. But
Yeah.
he's got to have a few, and that would just be cool to see.
Well, now you got to go. Content.
Yeah.
We need you to get a picture with it.
Yeah,
Oh
now
no,
you have to.
dude,
Get out
dude.
there.
Provo's way too far. Nah, man, get out of here.
Evan, go pick him up and take him over.
Yeah, Kyle, not a fan of driving.
No,
Aaron, do you ever get into like rare book collecting? I did stalk your socials enough to know you've got like a early edition Japanese Ocarina of Time copy
Do you?
cartridge.
Yeah, so well that's not like a rarity though. Like my friend Jared, who I used to work with at Crumble, he has a little side business selling like Japanese video games and like Pokemon cards and stuff. So he'll like do farmers markets or whatever. And yeah, he had like a Japanese N64 cartridge of Ocarina of Time. It was like $15. It wasn't expensive.
Okay.
So
That's
I
still
was like,
cool though.
I was like,
Man.
that's mine. That's going on
Yeah.
my mantle. So yeah, I bought that. But yeah, I'm not a collector of rare things. I really don't care. Like books, I love a mass market paperback, dude. Like I hate that those
Yeah.
aren't being produced anymore because like those are the books for the people. You know, it's a $9 little paperback that has the exact same story as that $50 like special edition hardcover. I don't have expensive taste when it comes to anything, so I really don't care
Good for
about
you.
like
That's
the
probably why
special
you're
editions.
successful.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
it's
you know what? It's if more of us were like that and value food and cheer and song above hoarded
God
gold,
damn it.
yeah. What was it? Hold on.
it'd be a merrier world.
If more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world. Amen.
But
Amen.
Hoarding your expensive rare books. Let people touch them, you
Yeah.
weirdos.
let us touch your
Yeah.
books, please. Aaron, what are you dropping money on then? Are you going to like Thirst and dropping some money on some cookies? What are you doing?
No,
What is
it's like
thirst?
what do I drop money on? I mean, like I did spend $200 on Legos recently,
Legos.
but that's a
Worth it.
rarity. Like even then, that's like I thought about that for several days before I pulled the trigger. I'm like, is this worth it? Anyway, what do we spend money on? Usually it's books, you know,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, I love going to independent bookstores and just like picking up a book that's been on my eye for a while. But I love finding used books more than anything because it's like
Yeah.
this has been loved by other hands before mine. Like, what have you seen, little book? Like, where's life taking
Where have
you
you
Dude,
been?
you're
before?
my
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
There's this bookstore
Yeah.
in Bountiful called the Book Garden where
Oh, I
people
love the
just
book garden.
it's so like I went there this week and I got 5 books for $10. And
Hell
like
yeah,
and they
dog.
were all 5 books that I wanted to read and I was about to spend
Mhm.
money on Amazon. I'm like, I want to go check that out first. And some of
And
them
the
are
be-
marked up. It's beautiful.
Totally. And like, yeah, they got like those old used books for sale with like the old crinkly yellow pages. Like, I'm about that. Like,
Dude, and the sniff, they're
Taking a
just,
Dude.
sniff. Let's go. This is our
Mhm.
guy.
you're our people.
that's I don't know what drugs are like, but like, I just need this, man.
I'd imagined
It's just like that.
McKylan, is
Yeah.
cocaine like I'm just kidding.
It's just like that. Don't worry. I got you.
We
Yeah,
need to
Mac
know
knows.
someone who has done meth so we can compare how sniffing a book feels to
Just
shooting up
like
under
that.
the freeway.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
Yeah, it's the
I think
exact
it's the
same.
same.
Gosh
Yeah.
dang it.
Well,
Aaron said
and
a
now
sweet
you
thing
get
and
it.
I ruined
Now
it.
you get why you'd end up under a bridge somewhere just like shouting things at people. It's like, it's that good. It really is.
Yeah.
If it's that good, can't be that
Okay.
bad.
Sorry.
Cut
It's just
that.
like reading a good book.
Yeah.
Matt.
Kyle, we're going to have a conversation offline. Tolkien, he drew the maps and illustrations himself. We'll round out with one last little book fact here. He illustrated the original edition, Thror's map, the map of the Wilderland of Wilderland, and several scenes. He was obsessive about geography. See, I love a guy who's obsessed to this degree. He plotted the characters' movements day by day and tracked the moon phases so that he could keep the timeline astronomically accurate.
That's insane, dude.
It's wild.
It's so the copy I have, one of the copies I have has his original drawings in it. And they're just, I mean, it's probably hard to see. He's a decent artist. Like,
Yeah.
you can tell he's more about like the landscapes as he would be, as opposed to like character drawing. But
Mhm.
that's one of the coolest parts. Like I think, and they have an illustrated version of Lord of the Rings too, which is just like 4 or 5 of his drawings throughout. Totally worth it because you get an idea of what he was thinking. I don't know. That's one of my favorite things about Tolkien is he's got not a lot of artwork, but enough that it's like, this is really cool. This is
That's
how you
freaking
saw it.
sick. Love that.
All right. Well, our rating system is the thumbs rating system. So you can give it up to 2 thumbs up or up to 2 thumbs down. That way we've got like some negatives. Presumably not to be used on this book. We like you, but I mean, you can cross the line here. How many thumbs from everybody? This one
I
gets
give
2 thumbs from
Yeah.
I
me.
give it 1 thumb.
You get
I like
Give
one
it
thumb.
a thumb.
I'll give this
Mhm.
baby 2
Yeah.
thumbs. Confident
I'm gonna
2
give it-
thumbs.
1.5.
That's not a thing.
You
What do you
can't
have, a
do
nub?
a 0.5 thumb.
All right, then maybe I have a nub, Kyle. Maybe I have a nub thumb.
I know for
Is
a
that
fact
wrong?
you don't have a nub.
Senior
If you
thumbs.
did, I wouldn't make that joke.
Their
That'd be
whole thumbs.
Senior
insensitive.
thumbs. Okay, yes, it's just 1 thumb for me.
Okay.
I'm
right.
curious, Aaron and Mac, why did you not? Because I'm
Well,
mad.
It's a really good book, but for me, I don't know. It's like I didn't love it as much as I loved other books that I love. Like I
Okay,
had a
that's
good
fair.
time with this book. I enjoyed it, but like up until like the last 20 pages, for me, this was going to be like 3.5 stars on, Goodreads or Fable. But after reading that section with Thorin, and like that bumped it up to a 4 for me. I'm like, okay, this book made me
Okay.
feel nice. There we go.
Yeah. Gosh dang it. It's not the perfect book. You're totally right.
Yeah.
Far from it, but
it's nice. I like Bilbo's journey, but he keeps getting knocked out.
That's
Deus Ex
realistic,
Machina
though.
all over the place. Is it realistic? It was just like it's just very much a kid's.
Yeah.
Like it's just very much a primer. And so I'm like, it's like a Pixar movie where I'm like, that was great.
I think some Pixar movies are better than The Hobbit. I think some Pixar movies are better than The Hobbit.
What
The
one?
first 3 Toy Stories,
Okay.
masterpieces each.
It's like Toy Story 4, where I'm like, all right, I've aged out of this, but I really did enjoy it, and I liked what it was doing.
You like Toy Story 4?
You don't
Toy
like
Story 4 is good.
4?
The
Yeah.
one where Woody
It's not perfect, but
leaves
it's good.
Buzz for some
Yeah.
tail? Come on, man.
He doesn't leave Buzz for
I
some
don't think
tail.
that's what
He
it is.
grows up and goes out to be his own man. What are you
No.
doing?
He leaves Buzz for Bo Peep so he can get some from Bo Peep. Read between the lines.
It's not just Bo Peep. Also, they're toys. They can't have sex. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
It is implied though, like several times throughout the series that like some of the toys get down.
Yeah.
Regardless, like my issue with Toy Story 4 is what they did with Buzz's character. Where it's like, listen, they've been kicking
He
it for
does
like
nothing.
10, 15 years, and like there's a scene where Woody has to explain to Buzz what a conscience is, and Buzz is just looking at him like, "What are you talking about? Dude, shut up! You don't tell me that Buzz is
Yeah.
this stupid now."
Yeah.
So my feelings towards like The Hobbit is similar to Toy Story 4, where I really like both things, but I feel like both things have issues that keep it from being perfect. That's where I'm at.
There you go.
It's hard because like, I'm sorry, Evan, I'm ranting, but like, it's not up there with like some of Dostoevsky. Like, it's not. It's just not.
You
But
I was gonna ask,
Dostoevsky.
yeah, dude. Kyle friggin' has the biggest heart on for
you-
Dostoevsky.
If you're a
How could
Russian,
you not?
if you were cold in the early 1800s or some shit, and you wrote about it, Kyle's like,
specifically my boy Fyodor, because he
Loves Fyodor.
writes suffering like no one else.
Oh my god! If you're like, oh, these potatoes, shit, Kyle's all about
Kyle's
it.
in.
I love that shit.
And that's why we love Kyle. That's not a diss. That's love.
Aaron,
That's
what's
awesome.
a two thumb book for you?
It's like a 2 thumbs up book.
Yeah, what is one of them?
Return of the King, Wizard of Earthsea, To Kill a Mockingbird, Fahrenheit 451.
I just read that one.
Fahrenheit
Frankenstein.
451.
Yeah, it was the first time. I mean, it's just right there. I just barely read it, and I was like, "Whoa!"
That's Bradbury, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Like, dude, yeah, like it's very rare for me to like just want to sit and read a book, but like I got that for Christmas several years ago, and I just read that book all day. Like I finished it in a single day. I couldn't stop.
That's how The Road was for me. I read The Road by
Okay.
in one
Cormac
sitting,
McCarthy,
and it was
That
like
really.
it was like one of the worst days of my life because The Road is so brutal. But it was like I'm like I
Uh-huh.
can't put this down. I need to know what happens. We've done
Mhm.
some Cormac, and some of us have mixed opinions on.
I thought that
Awesome.
she wolf was a real lady wolf.
He
I
talks.
haven't read The Road yet, but I'm going to. I have a copy over here. I just
It's
need to do it.
you might want to like plan your day because like it's not one you can. To me, it wasn't one you could just put down and be like, oh, now I'm gonna go make some soup and then I'm gonna pick up this devastating. Not that's not how it felt to me.
Mm-hmm. All
So
right,
good.
duly noted. That's good
Yeah.
to know. I mean, I finished Golden Sun by Pierce Brown recently,
I haven't
and
read
that's
that.
how it made me feel. Like I had a headache after reading that book because like
Yeah.
the last 3 pages were so devastating. So yeah, I had to read something cozy before I'm gonna pick up the 3rd book soon.
Okay, we'll have to.
Man, oh
we'll-
man, have
we'll
you
dive
read
into those.
the 3rd book of the Red
No,
Rising
like-
trilogy? Okay.
So I started reading my friend Kenny Gould's cozy fantasy book called The Midnight Carnival, and then I had to read this for this podcast. So I'm gonna finish Midnight Carnival and then get into Morning Star. That's what I'm
Oof.
planning on.
Yeah, we're talking about a series that I was like, I'm not doing anything else. Don't bother me for food or other things. Like we're gonna get. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Is that Red Rising?
Mhm.
Is that part of the Red
Yeah.
Rising?
Yeah, it is. It's really good.
Everyone wants me to read that, and I want to read it too. I just haven't
They're
gotten around
great.
to it.
They're
We'll
great.
do it on the pod one of these days.
We'll get
Mm-hmm.
to it. Incredible. Well, another book in the books. Big thank you to J.R.R. Tolkien. Just what a consequential life. He gave us, Middle Earth is as familiar as like a real actual place that exists. In some ways, I feel like it does. A big thank you to J.R.R. Tolkien for all of his work. And a huge thank you to Aaron N. Hall. Where can people find you on socials?
Yeah, just Google me, just Aaron N. Hall. Like I'm everywhere. AaronNHall.com is a great place to, find your starting point. It's where you can learn about all my books. It's where you can find links to follow me on socials. But I'm on Instagram primarily, Aaron N. Hall, and on TikTok and Facebook and YouTube, just give me a follow. Let's hang. We'll be friends.
Absolutely.
You're the man, dude, because we had just heard about you. Like I said, my brother told me, he's like, hey, I know this guy who wrote a really cool book. You should have him on your podcast. I thought about it for a long time and I didn't because I'm like, he's a big deal. I looked you up. I'm like, Aaron, he's a somebody, and we're just three dopes who like reading books. But you've been so gracious. We're very grateful. Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Oh, dude, thanks for the invite. It was fun to hang with you guys, and I got to read a great book in the process. So, it's all good.
Appreciate
Oh
it.
yeah, it was a great hang, man. I
Thanks.
can't wait to read Legend of.
Dude, it's a good time. You're
Absolutely.
gonna like it. Yeah.
Is that where to start? If you were like, for our listeners, they want to dive into your work, you're saying Legend of book 1 and then get ready for April for the sequel?
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this episode, you clearly care about Tolkien and fantasy, so I think The Legend of Oz is a great place to start. But if a superhero comedy sounds fun to you, My Name is Hammerfist is great. If you've got a taste for literary fiction, read one of my collections. They're very varied and fun and emotional. And if you'd like some clean, epic fantasy, like that feels like a mix between Game of Thrones and Chronicles of Narnia, read the Wesleyan Chronicles. But The Legend of Oz, by far my most popular title, like by a mile. So can't really go wrong with it.
And congrats, by the way.
Yeah.
It's got to be super exciting to watch some of your work taken off, and I hope it continues. It's really exciting.
Thanks, man. Got some fun things in the works right now that I don't know, I'm not allowed to talk about, but there may be some things in development soon that are very, very cool. So stay tuned.
Follow us on Spotify, Apple, Audible, wherever you get your podcast. If you want to request a book or just reach out, bibliofools@gmail.com. And Aaron, we end our show typically with some parting advice that ranges, it just runs the gamut. Do you have any parting advice for our listeners?
Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
Yes.
I love it.
Incredible. All right. Well, we love you. We'll see you next week.